Okay, so I've had my Szymon Chlebowski Feder for almost a year now, and I thought it was about time to do a review on it because I haven't seen very many around. So I suppose the first thing to cover is that when you're ordering from him, it takes a while for his orders to come. This can vary. Our first order took 14 months. The order I've just recently got only took 8 months because I kept hassling him, emailing him every week. He doesn't respond through Facebook. I seem to get more response through email. So yeah, just friendly reminders all the time, and it made it my order come a lot faster. So the sword I got in my first order, this is it right here, weighs 1.75 kilos. The handle's 30 centimeters long. The blade is 104 centimeters long. The things I like about it: the handle's really quite solid in comparison to other feathers. I like the shape of it. Cord's really hardy. You can see it's held up quite well, having had it for as long as I have. I like the fuller. Really good for resting your thumb in there for German stuff. You know, it feels really quite swordy. It almost feels like a blunt longsword, not quite, but you know, very. You know, you can see the detail in there and how much nicer it looks than just a regular feather. He seems to make them all by hand. There was a fair bit of variation in between the 3 swords that we got. The others weighed, I think, 200 or 300 grams lighter than this, and their blades were only about 95 centimeters long, and we only ordered 3 standard feathers, so there was quite a lot of variation between them. And one of them broke quite early on. After only a couple of weeks, had a fault in the blade there. We could see somewhere where it snapped. But yeah, shit happens, I suppose. But on the whole, I'm really happy with this. I do all my training with it, my solo training. I do all of my drills and everything at class with this. I don't generally bout with it, just because the handle, 30 centimeters, is a bit too short. With gloves on, I find it quite a little bit restrictive. So, and also, it is quite soft. The metal, you can see I've had to straighten it quite a few times. It's a bit wobbly there. But this and the other one in the order seems to have held up quite well. It hasn't snapped yet. It just seems to bend right back and keep going. So I ordered another feather because I wanted one with a longer handle, because I like my other one so much. I still wanted to be able to spar. Sadly, it didn't come with what I asked, so it's still only a 30 centimeter handle, 101 centimeter blade. This one actually does feel a bit more lively than the one I've got. The blade is a little bit heavier. But yeah, I've sold this to a classmate just because I like my other one just as much, and there's not really much point in having 2 identical feathers. But if you have a look at the pommels, you can see there's quite a bit of variation in the shape of them, which kind of shows that he shapes them by hand and how much variation there is. Even though both the handles are 30 centimeters, I know that kind of goes against what I was saying, that there's a lot of variation, but you know, you can see that pretty much every part of it has been shaped by hand, rather than just with like Regenier, where every single sword, every single feather is pretty much identical. The other thing I ordered in my latest order was a sharp longsword. As you can see, it looks very similar to the feather, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Same pommel, same grip shape. The guard's a little bit different. Scabbard's leather, handle's leather. He described it as a Type 15A German longsword, and I can say straight out of the box, it cut really well. The edge is sort of burry sharp, it's not razor sharp, but that seemed to work really well for cutting bottles. We haven't tried it on tatami yet, but we will be quite soon. But on the whole, very happy with this. It's quite stiff, got a bit of flex, but not much. And like I said, the grip feels very similar to the Feder, which is exactly what I wanted. And yeah, it cuts really well. I'll be posting links underneath this video to cutting video that we did, and also some just solo training videos so you can see you moving the Feder around. But yeah, in comparison to other entry-level longswords that I've handled, cold steel and Handmade, this thing feels a lot more like a sword. The cold steel Italian longsword felt like a glorified letter opener compared to this. And people have to do a substantial sharpening on them to make them effective, whereas this, it just sliced through bottles like butter. So the only thing I was a little disappointed on was I felt that the leather on the handle and on the scabbard was a bit slapdash, but for 450 bucks, that's the easiest thing to fix. Everything else I'm really happy with. The balance feels really nice. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting with it. So there you go. I hope this helps. Just a quick overview of my thoughts and how I feel about Szymon Chlebowski Feders and longswords.